Welcome to our final session with Mr. Landry. You and I are going to lock horns and we're going to talk about Kahnawake sovereignty and Quebec sovereignty forever. So let's put that aside for a little bit and let's
I say modestly that my hopes are better than yours.
Actually,
Factually.
I think we could go further than you guys and a lot quicker too.
Oh, so, okay. If Canada is giving you independence, that will facilitate ours.
No, Kahnawake will just do it historically. We'll just take it. But separate from that.
It's not so simple.
True.
If it was
True.
as simple, Quebec would already be member of the United Nations.
Well, there's
democracy is democracy.
I agree, but there's a difference between Quebecois and Kahnawake. I think our balls are a little bit bigger than the Quebecois. But separate from that, how do you think both societies can improve relations in the press? Because the press always, especially the French press, covers Kahnawake very, very, very negatively. What do you think we could do?
Well, frankly, it's not my feeling. Maybe I'm not objective. There are a lot of progressists in the French media, the ecologists particularly, but all other rather to the left people sympathizing with the First Nations, including yours. So it's not my feeling, but I will check that in the months to come. Okay. And personally, I have always been very well informed about Kahnawake. I always had good relation with the leaders. I had some friends there. I went there many times to deliver speeches or to have private conversations.
I remember one time, I don't know if you remember, we met during 1990, you came to the Longhouse.
Yes, and there was a sort of panel and it was very, very interesting. Le Père Lajoie was one
Father Lajoie.
Yes, was one of my friends, and I visit him in his church many times. So I don't feel to have been disinformed about Kahnawake. That's why I have always had a full respect for your nation and what was going there, which is not perfect, but it's not perfect in Quebec or in Canada.
No, that's fair. No, thank you very much. What do you think the Parti Québécois needs to do to get back in power in Quebec?
I won't say it's automatic, but with the unpopularity so rapid of the present Liberal government, you have to prepare. We have to prepare, and I'm very happy about that.
But the Liberal government wasn't that popular as well, and they still got reelected.
Yes, but due to circumstances and with a rather close, short majority, if election were to be done tomorrow, the Liberal will be swiped off. But it's only some years, but according to me, the Parti Québécois will be back in power next time.
And
I'm not a prophet.
No.
I wish.
Well, we all wish, right? And the ADQ, what do you think their future is?
It could be over. Because,
really?
Yes, it was founded on one idea, which was close to Quebec independence, the Allaire report, so many powers to Quebec that it was almost independence. So one key idea and one key man, and they have lost both. So according to me, their future won't be very bright.
Do you think Jean Charest is one of the most federalist of premiers ever?
Yes, I think that, but even him is starting to open his eyes. Virtually everything he is asking to Ottawa is being said no. We had more success in compensating the fiscal disequilibrium than himself, who is a Liberal. So I think he is starting to open his eyes too slowly. I would like he would realize more rapidly.
You're retired? What have you been doing?
It's a way of seeing things, but I work almost as many hours than in the past. First, I'm a teacher in University of Quebec, Polytechnic, but many universities around the world, including China, Africa, Europe, Latin America.
Which subject matters?
International economy. And since I can work also in Spanish. It's easier to teach in many countries. I also cooperate with the media. You're an exemplary. I write in many publications, and I deliver speeches almost 2 times a week. So my agenda is rather full. Plus my 7 grandchildren, plus my wonderful wife and that place here. My agenda is full.
Oh, very nice. And your mom is still alive at 97
Yes.
years young.
And I go and see her each Sunday, and I phone her each day.
Very good. One final question. How many years do you think, if at all, before Quebec can accomplish its political and economic goals?
I don't know, but it could be quite rapid. If the Parti Québécois comes back into power in 3 years from now, then mobilize people and organize a referendum that could be done within 10 years.
Okay. Any final? I'll save you for the final word of this interview.
And after, we negotiate with the Kanawake Nation and try to be an exemplary for the rest of the world.
That would be an interesting conversation, sir. I want to thank you very much for opening your home
It was a pleasure.
to our community and speaking to our community members about your feelings and just growing up as a young Quebecois in Quebec.
Okay.
And I thank you very much for tuning in, and I wish you all a great day.